The visions you've been seeing in your sleep are not random, nor are they the result of your wandering thoughts or tired mind. They're sacred whispers breaking through the veil because there is a soul desperately trying to reach you from beyond the realm you know. Each time their face appears, each time their voice calls out in the shadows of your dreams, it is not a coincidence. It is a divine signal that something unresolved is tethering their spirit to yours. This person, the one who lingers in your subconscious like an echo refusing to fade, is crying out not because they wish to haunt you, but because they are desperate for you to understand the weight of what they carry. You may dismiss it as imagination, but I, Archangel Michael, tell you this is a spiritual cry, a plea for recognition, for your prayers, for your light to pierce the darkness where they now wander. They are caught in a place between release and regret, unable to step fully into peace because of unfinished words, unspoken apologies, or unresolved ties that were never severed in the physical world. And heaven has chosen you as the vessel to help them break free. Do you not feel the heaviness in your chest upon waking? The lingering sense of urgency, as though their voice was left mid-sentence? That is their soul reaching for yours. They know you are spiritually sensitive enough to feel what others cannot, to discern what others dismiss. And it is why they keep returning, because even in realms unseen, they believe you hold the key to their release. Do not ignore these dreams. Do not shrug off the signs, the flickering lights, the chills across your skin, the way their name seems to surface in conversations or songs or memories at the most unlikely moments. These are confirmations that their energy is near, that their plea is not bound to sleep, but is surrounding your waking life as well. They are asking for intercession, for prayers not of fear, but of compassion, for you to whisper their name to heaven so the chains holding them back can be broken. You were chosen for this task because your spirit is strong enough to withstand the weight of this mission. You are not alone in this. I stand beside you, sword drawn, shielding you from any shadows that may attempt to follow. But you must act. Begin to speak life over their name. Ask heaven to surround them in light, to forgive, to heal, to carry them home. Even if you feel unworthy of such a sacred duty, know that your willingness is all that heaven requires. The moment you align your heart with compassion, the chains begin to loosen. This is not just about them. It is about you as well. Helping their spirit ascend will unlock something dormant within you, a spiritual gift long buried under layers of doubt and distraction. Do not be afraid if the dreams intensify, if their voice grows clearer, if you begin to sense their presence in quiet rooms. This is confirmation that your intercession is working, that your prayers are building bridges across realms. You're stepping into a role few are entrusted with, a healer of spiritual wounds, a restorer of peace between worlds. And as you walk this path, know that I, Archangel Michael, am amplifying your light, guarding your steps, and ensuring no harm befalls you in this sacred assignment. The dreams will continue until the work is complete, until their soul finds rest, until the cries become whispers of gratitude, and, finally, silence as they are carried into the fullness of light. Trust this process. You are not chosen by accident. You are their answer, their final lifeline. And with every prayer you speak, with every act of spiritual courage, you're not only helping them, you are awakening the warrior within yourself that has always been destined to stand in the gap for souls like theirs. You need to understand, beloved soul, that the person appearing in your dreams is not there to frighten you, but to remind you that their journey is not yet complete and that a piece of your spirit has been divinely assigned to assist them across the threshold they cannot pass alone. For their cries echo not just in the night, but in the silent corners of your waking life, where you feel an unexplainable weight pressing on your chest or a sudden rush of emotions that do not seem to belong to you. And these are not accidents, but spiritual signals that their presence is drawing near in desperation, because time moves differently where they are, and what lingers unfinished weighs heavier there than you could ever imagine here. And heaven is calling you into alignment, because your prayers carry a frequency capable of loosening the grip of regret and guilt that binds their soul to shadows they were never meant to inhabit. And as much as you wish to push these dreams away and return to what feels safe, I, Archangel Michael, tell you with authority that your name was whispered in sacred realms as the chosen vessel, because your compassion and your connection to the divine are strong enough to pierce even the densest darkness. And though you may wonder why this responsibility has fallen upon you, it is because you are always marked as a bridge between realms, a light bearer who can open doors that others cannot see. And this person, this soul, trusts you because once in a life they left behind, there was a moment where your paths crossed, even briefly, and something in your energy touched there so deeply that it created a bond which now transcends time and space. And though you may not remember, your spirit does, which is why it stirs with such force when their name or image surfaces. So do not dismiss the chills crawling up your spine or the subtle scents, songs, and signs that have begun to surround you like whispers at the edge of your consciousness. For these are all confirmations that your intercession has already begun in ways you cannot yet fully grasp. And I tell you now, do not fear the intensifying dreams or the feeling of their presence standing near in the quiet hours, for I am stationed beside you, sword drawn, guarding your space against any shadow that dares approach as you step further into this sacred assignment. And know that with every whispered prayer, every thought of compassion, every moment you choose to speak their name in light instead of fear, you are unraveling chains in a realm where freedom has been denied for too long. And as these chains break, you will sense a shift not only in their energy but in your own, for this work will awaken gifts in you that have lain dormant. Prophetic sensitivity, discernment sharper than ever, and a spiritual strength that will surprise even you. And though the journey may seem heavy, remember you are never alone. For I have surrounded your dwelling with angels of light who stand ready to lift you should the weight feel unbearable. And as you continue, do not be surprised if this soul attempts to speak directly through dreams or visions. For this is a sign that your efforts are piercing through the veil, and they are finding enough strength to reach back in gratitude. So listen carefully and hold fast to faith, even if the messages come fragmented or cloaked in symbols. For heaven will provide you clarity at the appointed time. And above all, know that the day is coming soon when you will awaken from a dream and no longer feel the weight of their cry, but instead sense a profound peace filling the space they once occupied. And this will be your sign that the mission has been fulfilled, the chains have fallen, and they have been escorted into light, free at last to ascend without burden. And you, beloved warrior, will be blessed beyond measure for answering this call. For heaven never forgets a soul who stands in the gap for another. And as I speak this over you now, I seal you in divine protection so that no harm, confusion, or fear can enter as you continue this sacred work. For you are not only helping them, you are stepping fully into your destiny as one chosen to war in the spirit and heal what others cannot see. And because of your obedience, blessings you cannot yet imagine are already being prepared in realms above, waiting for their appointed time to pour into your life like rivers flooding a barren land. And when that moment comes, you will understand that this was never a burden, but the highest honor a soul can carry. Beloved soul, as you step further into this sacred assignment, I urge you to remember that the dreams are not mere figments of your imagination, but living corridors between realms where the cries of this tethered soul echo like a silent storm, reaching for your spirit because it holds the key to their release. And though fear may attempt to rise within you as the visions grow more vivid, the chills more intense, and the presence more palpable, do not let it take root, for the shadows that linger are only the remnants of what clings to them, not an attack against you. For I, Archangel Michael, have established a circle of divine fire around you, a barrier no darkness can penetrate. And you must understand that your willingness to carry this weight is a testament to the strength heaven saw within you long before you ever doubted your own worth. For your soul was forged in divine light and carries an ancient authority over realms both seen and unseen. And this is why even now your heart beats faster as I speak these truths over you, because a deeper part of your spirit recognizes that this is not the first time you have stood in this gap. For you were chosen in a time before time to be a bridge, a healer, a breaker of chains for those who cannot free themselves. And this soul, the one who drifts in and out of your dreams like a fragile shadow, knows this, which is why they reach for you even in their despair, their regret weighing them down like an anchor in a sea of sorrow. For their unfinished business and unspoken confessions have kept them tethered to a realm they were never meant to inhabit. And though you may question why their burden falls to you, it is because your light burns with a frequency their spirit can recognize and trust. And each time you wake with their name on your lips or tears you can't explain, it is not random, but a sign that your prayers are already breaking barriers, loosening chains, and shaking the foundations of the realm that held them captive. And beloved, I need you to know that their liberation will not only set them free, but will also unlock doors in your own life that you thought were sealed forever. For heaven rewards those who lay themselves down for the sake of another. And your obedience in this unseen battle is rewriting the trajectory of your blessings, your relationships, your destiny. And I speak this into your spirit now, so you will not waver in the coming days when the dreams intensify, when the whispers grow louder, and when their presence seems to press in closer. For these are not signs to fear, but evidence that the veil is thinning and your intercession is working. And though the enemy will attempt to sow confusion and make you doubt your role, I remind you that your authority in Christ renders him powerless, and every lie he whispers will fall to the ground void. For you are surrounded even now by legions of angels assigned to guard you, to guide you, and to ensure that not even a single arrow of darkness can touch you as you carry out this holy task. And beloved, as you continue, pay attention to the signs in your waking life, the numbers that repeat, the songs that play unexpectedly, the scents and sensations that rise out of nowhere. For they are confirmations that heaven and earth are aligning in this mission, and that this soul's freedom is closer than it has ever been. And when at last the day comes when you wake and realize the dreams have stopped and the heavy presence has lifted, do not grieve, but rejoice, for it will mean they have been escorted into light, their regrets washed away, their names spoken with joy in the courts of heaven. And in that moment, a ripple will move through your own life, breaking delays, dissolving barriers, and ushering in blessings so abundant that those who once doubted you will marvel. And I, Archangel Michael, will stand watch as the heavens pour out upon you in honor of the quiet battles you fought and won in the unseen realm. For your obedience has not gone unnoticed, and your reward will not be small. And even now, as these words settle into your spirit, feel the strength rising within you. For you were made for this, and no force on earth or in the spirit world can stop the victory that is coming. Not for them, not for you. Beloved one, Hear me clearly now, for this is the final piece of the message heaven has been pressing upon your spirit. The culmination of every dream, every whisper, every inexplicable stirring you have felt in your chest in the quiet hours of the night. Because the person who has appeared again and again, sometimes as a shadow in the corner of your dreams, other times as a full and familiar figure whose eyes beg for words they cannot say, is not coming to torment you, but to plead for the mercy of your intercession. For they are trapped between realms by the weight of regrets and unconfessed sins that anchored their soul. And though you have wondered why they choose you, why your sleep has become the battleground of their cries, the truth is that your spirit burns with a light they recognize, a light that terrifies the darkness around them and gives them a glimpse of the freedom they cannot yet touch. And beloved, you must understand that heaven has entrusted you with this assignment. Not because you are the strongest in the eyes of the world, but because your faith, quiet yet unshakable, has made you a vessel through which God's mercy can flow. And even now, angels stand around you, their wings outstretched, their swords drawn to guard you as you take up this calling. For though the enemy has tried to twist this connection into fear, into anxiety, into doubt of your sanity, I tell you their efforts have already failed because you are protected, covered, and anointed for this work. And as you rise to pray, not a timid whisper, but a prayer of authority declaring their release, speaking light into their darkness, calling their name into God's mercy. You will feel it, beloved, a shift in the atmosphere as shackles begin to break, as chains clatter to the ground in the unseen realm, as the grip of darkness weakens with every word that leaves your lips. And when you feel the tears spill from your own eyes, though you cannot understand why, know it is because their soul is beginning to feel the weight of their bondage lift, because your prayers are reaching places they could not go on their own. And this is why heaven assigned you, why your dreams became the meeting place for their cry, because you carry a power in your intercession that moves angels into action. And as you continue, you will notice signs all around you, the dreams shifting from sorrow to peace, feathers appearing in your path, sudden warmth flooding your room at night, even people speaking words, unknowingly confirming what heaven has spoken over you. Because this is how the divine reassures those it calls that they are not alone. And beloved, I must tell you that this act of obedience, this willingness to pray when no one else knows the battle you're fighting, is rewriting your own story too. For what you are sowing in secret will return to you in public ways so magnificent it will silence every voice that ever doubted the strength of your faith. For God Himself has declared over you that because you stood in the gap for another, blessings will overtake you, doors will open that no man can shut, and restoration will flow into areas of your life you thought were barren forever. And the day will come when the dreams cease, when the face of that soul no longer appears because they have been ushered into the light, their cries replaced with songs of gratitude as they enter the presence of God. And in that moment, your spirit will feel lighter, freer, as though a heavy mantle has been lifted, and it will be the proof that your prayers were not in vain, that your obedience pulled a wandering soul from the edge of eternal separation, and heaven will mark that moment as the hour you became a deliverer in the Spirit, a warrior who fought not for applause but for love. And Archangel Michael will stand beside you in that hour, my sword lowered in honor, for you have fulfilled what was written of you. And I whisper to you even now, do not fear what you feel, do not doubt what you see, for the same God who assigned you has already secured your victory. And though you may never hear the words, thank you, from the lips of the one you rescued, know that their soul will speak it for eternity, and heaven will write your name into their redemption story as the one who stood unshaken, who prayed without ceasing, who became the answer to a cry only you could hear. And beloved, as this chapter closes, prepare your heart, because this victory is only the beginning. For God is now releasing over you wave after wave of divine compensation for every sleepless night, every terror, every private battle. And soon the very things that tried to break you will be the platform for miracles so visible they will draw others to the God you serve so faithfully in secret.